I mean, the highlight was the whole experience because amazing crew and cast, and I've never experienced this ever where every member of that production was there for the whole journey. There's no rotten eggs, there's no issue. As far as the struggle goes, it's pretty hot in Stratford at the time we were shooting that grass, and that grass is pretty deadly, and that was all real, so yeah, that was tough. It was definitely, yeah, it was tough. I think the redemptive qualities of all the characters is something that I resonated with a lot. You know, like every character enters the grass for a purpose, and after you finish the film, you might contemplate what those character journeys are, but everyone that enters isn't happy. So there's like metaphorical element to it. That's quite interesting.
I really enjoyed the character. I'm a mom, and it was a cool kind of role with like a little boy and a husband and a family story. And I'm also like a huge Stephen King fan, so that was great to have the opportunity to work on a Stephen King project. Stephen King and Joe Hill, it's really great writing. Plus, the director, Vincenzo Natali, is one of the most wonderful directors I've ever worked with. So I knew I was going to be in great hands, and it was. He was really great to work with. Yeah, it was fantastic. Oh my gosh, like a dream come true. Patrick Wilson was incredible. Like, honestly, one of the most professional, lovely, genuine people I've had the pleasure to work with. We had to do a lot of sort of physical things. There were a couple of stunts, and he was really like collaborative and super helpful in those situations. And he's just a really fantastic actor, so it was a real privilege to play and work with him.
I really loved working with everyone. Everyone was super nice and welcoming and friendly, and I just love being on set. I can't give away too much, but there were actually lots of scary parts in the grass because you were like, oh no, I might actually get lost. It was pretty suspenseful and creepy. Hanging out with the cast and working with the director, everyone is super nice, and it was just really, really great.
They're so amazing. I think there were maybe like 7 of us total, and I've never had an experience like that. It was like being in a family. I think mostly because we were all so thankful to be there, and the script was so great, and we just felt so lucky to have the opportunity to work on something so amazing, and we created something we hope you guys find very special as well. There was one day that Vincenzo put me way out, like far in the field, and I was just waiting for him to yell action so I could run towards him, and I could hear it was like some creepy creature crawling my way, and I'm just like waiting for him to yell action. And I remember just yelling, yell action, yell it right now, I need to go. So a lot of it, like really, there was no acting required, if you will. But it was also so beautiful being that close to nature.
Well, a lot of things did, not the least of which are Joe Hill and Stephen King, who I admire tremendously as writers. And then the world, really the grass, which is both an environment and an organism, and I find to be very beautiful and also really frightening. Well, one of the challenges of shooting the grass was to not get lost, because we genuinely would get lost in the grass because you have no reference points. And in fact, the crew would carry whistles so that if they did get lost, we could hear them. And there was a whole language, filmic language, to shooting in grass and how to compose shots and at what point to be intimate and what point to be far away. And as a filmmaker, as a director, it was a very exciting environment to work in because it's entirely unique. Well, to me, great horror is always a metaphor, and it's always touching on the human condition if it's working. And I think, the story is very layered. It actually deals with a lot of things, but I think ultimately it's a redemption story, and this movie is a redemption story, and it's about correcting a mistake. And we've all made mistakes that we've desperately wanted to fix.
There were only challenges and only unique situations. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do. It's real grass. We had to grow the grass. There was a drought and it had to be over your head, and then we had to transport it into a studio, the real grass, and transplant it in the studio and have it grow for several weeks while we were in the studio. It was crazy.